You are Locked On Heat Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Heat fans? Welcome to another edition of your Locked On Heat Postcast, albeit a little bit late because the Miami Hurricanes with the bowl game today, the IDGAF Bowl against Iowa State, which, of course, they ended up losing 42-41 in spite of the fact that they had over 500 yards of offense and 40-plus points. It's the second time in the last 52 games that they've lost when those two things have happened, 500-plus yards, 40-plus points, and it's been the last two times, the Syracuse game that cost us the playoffs, and now this one. Fire the defensive staff. Anyway, that was the Miami Hurricanes today in the, the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Lost 42-41 to Iowa State. You can check that show out wherever you get your podcasts. Of course, right here, Locked On Sports Miami. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease as the Jimmy Butler saga continues. We're not going to trade him. He wants a trade. We're not going to trade him. He's not playing. He's not dressing. No Jimmy Z Butler for the Miami Heat today, and they lose 120-110. In Atlanta to the Hawks, and we are here, of course, with your Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL playoffs are almost here, but it's not too late to get in on the regular season action with FanDuel, because right now, new customers can finish the season strong with $250 in bonus bets. If your first $5 bet wins, visit FanDuel.com to get started. All right, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Locked On Heat Postcast, 120-110. Hawks beat Miami, and it wasn't really complicated. They shot the ball really well. The Hawks shot the nets out in this one. I mean, the Heat had 5 guys in double figures. No Jimmy, right? I mean, he's the best player on the team, one of the top players in the league when he's playing good. One of his last full game, he had a triple-double with 35 points, right? But Jalen Johnson been killing it for Atlanta. 28 points today. For them, they won, by the way, their third game in a row. 28 points for Jalen Johnson. Trae Young, 22nd double-double of the season, 11 points. Low for him, but 15 assists. DeAndre Hunter off the bench, getting it done. 26 points, 14 consecutive games with at least 15 points for him coming off the bench. How about for Miami? We need a hero. I'm holding on for a hero. And Tyler, 28 points, 10 assists today. Bam. Bam, bam, bam. 17 points, 10 rebounds for Adebayo, but 4 games in a row without Jimmy Butler. And the team is calling – this is ridiculous. What do they think we're this is a rhetorical question. What do they think? We're stupid idiots? Yes, they do. The Heat are calling this, quote, return to competition reconditioning. This is one of the greatest athletes in the world in the prime of his career, maybe a little bit toward the end of the prime, but still, come on. Return to competition, reconditioning. How about where you can return that? You can return that straight where the sun doesn't shine. Literally, what do you think we are, stupid? Again, we already answered that question, but, 5 players in double-digit scoring for the Heat. They shoot 45%, just about 44.4 from the field, but Atlanta shot 51.5%. And Johnson's been killing it. He's a big reason why. Big reason why. I mean, he scored 30 last game out. Pretty cool for him. He's having a nice little run. And Trae Young, 15 dimes, one shy of the franchise record for Atlanta against Miami, which was set by Mookie Blaylock. But, Miami's defense has been sus lately. Let's just say it. They've been sus. They've been mid to sus. You like that? You're like Gen Z. Mid to sus, right? I got 3 kids. I'm cool, right? I'm cool like that. My kids don't think I am, but I'll tell you what, it doesn't even matter. But the Miami Heat have got to find a way to play better defense on the perimeter. Teams are taking advantage of Jimmy Butler's absence. It's easy for me to say, right? And you got the game of cat and mouse now. I don't want to play. I want out. We're not going to trade you. I want out. We're not going to trade you. I'm only going to give you 4 teams. And in this era, in this day and age, where the player enjoys unprecedented power in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Am I right? Unprecedented power is wielded by the player. Jimmy's holding a lot of the cards here because the Heat didn't give him a new deal in the offseason. We know the story there, and he's got the power. He's got next year, but he's got the opportunity for the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. Jimmy's got the opportunity to play out his hand. Now, it's just a game of cat and mouse. The Heat think they hold all the cards. Jimmy thinks he holds all the cards. And obviously the Heat guys, Locked On Heat, are going to talk more about this, you everydayers know. And I'm going to stick to the postcast, which obviously this is part of the story because no Jimmy Butler tonight. Well, how about the guys who did play for Miami? How about Tyler Herro with another big-time game? Another big-time game for Tyler Herro. But, I mean, for Miami in this one, it really wasn't, you didn't really ever get the feeling that Miami had a real shot to win this game. The Hawks jumped out to a 7-point lead in the first quarter. By halftime, it was down to 3. But, the Hawks had shown withstanding Heat runs and having runs of their own. And, then they outscore them by 6 in the third. And it's just in the fourth, it was just an even game. So it wasn't like the Heat were blown off the floor by any means, but the Hawks just kept them at bay and they held the lead throughout the night. And Tyler taking only 15 shots on a night when he had 28 points is interesting to me, because he's really taking his shots within the flow of the offense. And Bam Adebayo's doing the same thing, but what good's it doing them? They've lost 4 out of 6 without Jimmy. And I know with no Butler, the offense isn't going to flow because it runs through Jimmy in many, many ways, right? But Tyler has gotten so much better off the ball. He's gotten better taking the ball to the rack. He's doing so much in that regard, right? But when I look at Miami and you're getting 14 shots from Duncan Robinson, he's got 16 points in the game, went 4 of 10 from 3. Haywood Highsmith went 6 of 8. He's taken 8 shots. Bam, 8 of 17. Tyler, 8 of 15. Jaquez Jr., 4 of 12. He's shooting too much. You know what I mean? I don't think that guy should be shooting as many shots as he is. Burks and Rozier, 3 of 9 and 3 of 8, not really shooting well at all. And I want to know what's going on with Terry Rozier. He's not the 24-point-per-game guy they traded for last year. They really need him to step up at that point guard slot with Tyler doing what he's doing on the wing. And I think that could give them a lot. Where in the middle, I mean, he's only playing 10 minutes, shooting 3 shots. I like his development for the future, playing alongside Bam. If they do move along from Jimmy Butler, will it be for a superstar point guard like De'Aaron Fox? Who would it be? Who would you like to see come back in a trade like that? Maybe you can put it in the chat, smash that subscribe and hit the bell, when we're bringing you live content, and then, engage in the chat here. Come say what's up. And if not, hey, at @JimGriese_ on social media, GRIES. But they're distributing the ball nicely. You got the 5 guys in double figures, and then Jaquez, who was 4 of 12, had 8 points. So you got to figure that should have been. And then Rozier had 9. So that would have been 7. And it was similar the other night with 5 guys in double figures and a couple guys at that 8-9 point range. But it's not so much what they're scoring. I'd like to see Tyler Herro, and this was my point. I want to spend a minute or two on this. I would like to see Tyler Herro, 28 and 10. You see him there, 5 players with 10-plus points. You got Highsmith shooting 6 of 8, but Duncan 6 of 14. Jaquez is 4 of 12. And Bam's always going to be at about 50%. So here's my reasoning for saying this. Jaquez shooting 12 times, Robinson shooting 14 times, and they're not hitting their shots. And this is pretty common. Duncan doesn't shoot the ball well game in and game out. He has the occasional great game, but my point is Tyler Herro's playing at an all-star level. He's hitting his threes at a career-high percentage. He's taking it to the rim with more effectiveness than we've ever seen from him. He's getting to the line more than he ever has. He's distributing and facilitating more than he ever has, which gets me to my point. Elongation, you know what I'm saying? But here's the deal. Tyler needs to shoot more. He needs to be more selfish. On this team, without Jimmy, right now, Tyler Herro has got to shoot the ball 20, 25 times a game. And he's shooting the ball 15 times, 8 of 15. 4 of 7 from 3. He's playing within the flow of the offense. He's playing unselfishly. Actually, beautiful basketball at times. Virtuoso performance at times from Tyler Herro. Be more selfish, bro. Be more selfish. Shoot more shots. The team needs you to do that. Tyler Herro, the team needs you to be more of what your name could stand for and what it signifies. Yes, you're being unselfish. Yes, you're being a good teammate. Yes, it's all within the flow of the offense, but what is it doing for the team? They're not winning games. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you know what I'm saying? If it is a little bit broke, which I don't want to say they're broke, but you know what I mean? You're losing 4 out of 6. Your defense is a real issue. But you're going to have to outscore teams. You're going to get a lot of deflections, a lot of steals. You're going to get badly out-rebounded. You're going to get badly outscored in the paint. But you got an all-star too in Tyler Herro. He's playing great, man. Shoot the ball more, Tyler. Shoot the ball more. His play warrants it. his play absolutely warrants it. So I'm glad to see Tyler improving and getting better. And I don't want to kill him for not shooting more. I mean, he's playing well and he's playing unselfishly. But this team right now really needs him to step up and score even more. 28 points on 8 of 15, 4 of 7 from 3. That's very efficient, man. 28 points on 15 shots. That's superstar level right there. That is absolute superstar level from Tyler Herro. Game in and game out, but their defense, you know what I mean? 65% from the floor from Jalen Johnson, 28 points, 13 rebounds from him, 5 assists. They played through him, doing a great job with Trae Young, 15 assists. And the way that Trae Young plays, he's such a great shooter and a great scorer that, man, and he's quick. He uses that to his advantage to set up his teammates really well, man. He doesn't get credit enough for being an unselfish star. And DeAndre Hunter, speaking of stars, coming off the bench, 14 straight games, 15 points or more, 26 tonight. Atlanta's got a nice little nucleus there. And that's a basketball hotspot just waiting to explode. Atlanta, such a great city to have an awesome NBA team. Remember the Dirty Birds when the Falcons were winning? That city was upside down, man. They got some great sports fans there. And the Hawks need to reward them with something, you know. And Tyler Herro, 8 for 8 from the line. He's taking the ball to the rack, drawing contact, drawing fouls. I love that he's doing that. More shots, more drives from Tyler. You want to see that all the way, you know. But when the Hawks finished the game on an 11-3 run, and that's pretty much, it was a little bit closer. The rebounding was an issue for Miami again, but down the stretch, it was really just the playmaking of Trae Young and the shot making of Jalen Johnson that did it for the Hawks. All right, it's your Locked On Heat postcast. I did it again. Oops, I did it again. Yes, I did that again too. I did it again. It's Heat postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries, still to come. Where in the world is Jimmy the Butler? What's going on with the Heat superstar, and is he going to be with the Miami Heat? And what else can the Heat do to shore up this defense? Because right now, this is not looking like Miami Heat defense. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries. Heat postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. You're going to be here for another 20 minutes, having a blast with me. Let's go. And come on. Dun, dun, dun. Everything crashed on that screen, and it is coming up now. There we go. All right. Let's see. What in the world? All right, here we go. Holiday season is here. New Year's right around the corner. We love that, right? Do you really feel like you're missing someone far away from you? You want them to be a part of your festivities, celebrate with you from afar? Do your loved ones live far away but wish they could be close to you? Maybe you have a hard time figuring out what to buy people for a holiday gift. Some people are very difficult to buy for, but we have the perfect gift for you. Skylight Frame is the touchscreen digital photo frame your whole family is going to love. Trust me, I know, because mine does. Upload thousands of photos with your phone and watch them appear in seconds. It's so easy to use. Setup takes less than 60 seconds. Easy, seamless sharing. You can add new photos straight from your phone from anywhere in the world. The touchscreen is an absolute game changer. Swipe, 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 swipe. Looks beautiful in your home. HD resolution on the photos. You get 2 sizes to choose from, 15-inch or 10-inch gallery frames. Is better than social media. There's a gift mode as well, and it is, with over 1 million happy customers, one of the top brands in the world. Thousands of 5-star reviews and available in over 30 countries. Recommended by the Today Show, Forbes, New York Mag, and more. That's right, Skylight Frame. And now, as a special limited time offer for our listeners and our watchers, viewers here, watchers, get $20 off your purchase at Skylight Frame. When you go to skylightframe.com/NBA, that's SKYLIGHTFRAME.com/NBA. $20 off your purchase now at skylightframe.com/NBA. Get $20 off a Skylight Frame at skylightframe.com/NBA on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. All right, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. The Heat lose to the Atlanta Hawks in the ATL. They go to Houston tomorrow. But look at Miami just flirting with that 500 mark again. 15-14 now for the Heat this season. Lingering, floundering, just when you thought they were getting going. Jimmy Butler and all this nonsense is here now. They're saying he's not in shape to play basketball, basically, is the crap they're throwing at us. Not true. He wants out, supposedly. That's the report. Oh, we can't say that, but yeah, we can. Reportedly, he wants out. He only wants to go to Golden State, Phoenix. What other team did they say? Dallas was one of them. And, of course, Pat Riley came out and said, we are not trading Jimmy Butler. What does this mean? It's a giant distraction for the players and the coaches? Sure, but the distraction don't mean anything when you're out there on the court. You know, that's one thing most media members don't get, is that kind of a distraction doesn't mean anything when you're playing. It's when players have to answer questions about it after the game, after practice, when they're playing, when they're practicing. Hey, your mindset as an athlete on any level, but especially on the professional level, is next man up. Whoever's here, let's roll with what we got. That's the Heat culture. That's the Heat mindset. That's the professional sports culture and mindset. So whatever it is, next man up. So Jimmy Butler not being there, you're not even really thinking about it as much when you're out there. But in between the games, when you're planning, when you're strategizing, when you're looking at, damn, we haven't had Jimmy, and it'll hit you then. 4 games out. I don't know what the real deal is, whether they're protecting an asset by not playing him, because obviously if he gets hurt, that kiboshes the whole thing, or if it's Jimmy protecting his own asset by sitting out. Either way, the fans lose, just like Cam Ward sitting out the second half of the bowl game for the University of Miami today, even when they could have won the game on the final drive down by a point with less than a minute left. And he still chooses to turn his back on his team and sit out. Now, if that's the case with Jimmy, that's between Jimmy and his teammates, and really Jimmy and Jimmy. And that's what is going to have to take place there, is Jimmy, a little introspection and whatever it is. But if it's the Heat not playing him, protecting an asset, deciding what to do with him before they trade him, who the hell knows? But it's always the fan who loses. It's always us. We get the short end of the stick. And it happens all the time, right? Are you not sick of that by now? I am so sick of this. And by the way, the audience surging, every show getting bigger. Thank you so much. Please smash that subscribe and hit the like. Come on in and chat with me. You know what I'm saying? We got the chat room going. And then, of course, you hit that bell and you know when we will be live with the show whenever we pop on here. But for Jimmy Butler and the Heat to be doing this, and the fans are the ones who lose, and the Heat are losing games, it's not fair to the guys on the team in the locker room. It's not fair to the coaches and the executives of the team, who are probably the ones in on it. But whatever the case may be, the fans are the ones really losing, and so are the players. So I hope they resolve this whole situation soon, although I don't really have a lot of confidence, because professional sports, NBA players in particular, the NBA in particular, professional sports has become let me rephrase that. Players have a lot more power. It's become a lot more player-centric in terms of the power. Players can now dictate where they want to go a lot more than they ever could. At one time, they never could, right? So they hold so much power now in this equation, and the team is always trying to leverage themselves in a certain kind of way. And when you're talking about tens of millions of dollars a year, these are huge assets, and there are enormous insurance policies and things like that. And I mean, the business of it all is just astounding, right? And imagine it was tens of millions of dollars for an asset, more than a person. You're an asset, and that's what Jimmy Butler is. But the players who are on the court for Miami right now, Bam's 8-17. He's got to score more. If Jimmy's not there, Bam's got to score 20 plus, and Tyler's got to shoot more. You know, Duncan's Duncan. He's going to get the points he got tonight. Good game from Duncan Robinson. Nothing against him at all. I like the dude. I mean, I'm sure we all love Duncan, you know, but Jaquez shooting 12 times, and where in the world is Terry Rozier? He needs to step up more. But the way this team's playing right now, and Highsmith went 6 of 8 tonight, he's about an 8 to 10 shot per game guy. But for Bam Adebayo, man, I mean, he's got to get to the line a lot more than one time in a game. And at 6'9", with the kind of athleticism and the kind of size he has got to draw more fouls on front court players, and that'll slow down Jalen too on the other end. So it'll have a twofold effect, because it'll slow down the other team's front court on the offensive end too, as Bam attacks them, wears them down a little bit more. But he's got to get to the free throw line way more than he is. Way, 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 way more. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you enough how much it frustrates me to see Bam not attack more. In the NBA, I mean, we've seen it so many times. We've lamented so much of the game revolves around three-pointers right now. So much of it, right? And you just got to realize that maybe that part of the history of the league is over, where it's, you're really relying on offensive skill and taking the ball to the hole and drawing contact. And I want to see Bam draw more fouls. It'll open up shooters on the outside more. And I want to see Tyler shoot more. Aside from that, I like this team and where the identity is going. If Jimmy Butler's not going to be here, where would you like to see him go? Which teams do you think he could be a good fit with? I don't care about the fit for that team, but what would the Miami Heat get back in return? That's a topic for the Locked On Heat guys of the podcast. You'll see them every day here on the Locked On Podcast Network. They also have the newsletter, Locked On Heat newsletter, that you want to check out as well. As for me, Jimmy G, in the place to be, I went to the University of Miami. All right, let me stop. Anyway, that was actually not bad. Let me just say this. POSTCAST, that's where you'll find me. After every Heat game, after every Dolphins game, after every Hurricanes game, season's over now with football. Maybe we'll get the higher-ups to let me do basketball starting January 1st. There won't be no more Jim Larrañaga at the University of Miami. But I'll say this. Canes games, Dolphins games, Heat games, Marlins games, after the games, POSTCAST right here, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast. And then Locked On Heat, Locked On Dolphins, Locked On Canes, all those every single day, as you everydayers know, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. We put this one to bed. Un momento, por favor, as we wrap it up. Heat POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. And you know what's coming next, Miami? You don't even know, do you? Yes, you do. It's the player of the game, the turning point, final score graphic, all the things you love right here. Heat POSTCAST. And action. Take it away. Today's episode is sponsored by Built Rewards. That's B-I-L-T. If you're a renter, listen up. This is a total game changer. Thanks to Built, you can now earn points on rent payments, just like you do with groceries or travel. Paying rent now comes with serious perks, and it's completely free to join. You earn valuable Built points, B-I-L-T, on your rent and everyday spending at no extra cost. Redeem points toward flights, hotel stays, even future rent payments with over 500 airlines and 700,000 hotels in the program. The possibilities are endless. Access unique experiences that are exclusive to Built members, B-I-L-T, as well. I love using points for travel, and Built makes it so easy to turn rent into rewards. If you're already paying rent, why not make it work for you? Start earning points on rent you're already paying by going to joinbuilt.com/LockedOnNBA. That's joinbuilt.com/LockedOnNBA, B-I-L-T, joinbuilt.com/LockedOnNBA. Make sure to use our link so they know we sent you. Don't wait. Start earning points today with Built, B-I-L-T, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Heat POSTCAST, what up, what up? Who's hollering at me in there? Miami Heat Zone. Yo, we have to make a Miami Heat video together. Word up, man. Hit me up. Hit me up at JimGrease_ on IG or TikTok or whatever. At JimGrease, JIMGRIES_ Hit me up and we'll make that happen, Miami Heat Zone. Absolutely, you know this. So here we are. 120 to 110, man. Tyler Herro, come on, let's go. We're asking a lot of him right now. We are asking a lot. He played a great game. He's 8 of 8 from the line, and you know what I mean? 8 of 15 from the floor, 4 of 7 from 3, 10 dimes with 28 points. That is elite playmaking in the National Basketball Association. Zero doubt about that. On a night when 5 guys scored in double figs and you had an 8-point scorer and a 9-point scorer, and Jaquez is not going to go 4 of 12 every game. He would have been the 6th one. So I love the distribution of the ball and, spreading out the scoring and the points. But, you know what I'm saying? But Tyler needs 30-point games right now if the Heat are going to win. They need him to be that dude. He can be that guy. He's scoring 28 on 15 shots. He needs 30. He needs to have that field goal. The attempts need to be over 20 right now for Tyler in a game like today. And then Bam's got to go to the rack more. Shooting only 1 free throw is inexcusable for a guy of his caliber, the way he plays. And look, if Bam were face-to-face with me right now, which would never happen because I'd have to be standing on, the roof of a house to do it. But you know what I'm saying. I'd be looking right here. Hey, Bam, You know what I'm saying? Take the ball to the rim, bro. Draw some more contact, get to the line more, also take some of the pressure off those shooters. But they played really good offensive basketball tonight. The problem with Miami was not offense. I told you this earlier in the show. It was much more about defense. And don't forget, by the way, we will be here tomorrow after the Houston game, Heat Postcast. Tomorrow, Dolphins, Jets. After that game, Postcast. It's actually Dolphins, Browns tomorrow. Dolphins, Jets next week. But, hey, the Broncos lost today to the Bengals. So, hey, I'm still alive. The Dolphins are still alive in the playoffs. Although Tua was downgraded to doubtful with the hip, and anytime he has anything going on with the hip, just like with the concussion, the hell with it. He's made of paper mache. Who are we kidding? All right, let's get going with the graphics you love. Sorry, Tua, you know I love you, but facts is facts. You can't throw the deep ball. It's like a helium balloon, and you're fragile. Other than that, the dude's amazing. And hey, we all have flaws. I have way more than he does, and I'm just sitting here pointing out his because it's all I can get for a job. Well, he's the starting quarterback of an NFL team. I know it. You know it. There you have it. The elephant in the room is out. I hope you're enjoying this Locked On Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Here we go. You ready? Your final score, 120-110. There's Jalen Johnson, the latest big who the Heat couldn't stop tonight. Torched him for 30-plus, or actually, was it 28 tonight? One more or two fewer than his career high, one more than he had a couple of games ago. But he's on a tear right now. He is absolutely on a tear, and he's killing it for the Atlanta Hawks right now. Just absolutely murdering teams, Jalen Johnson. And, you know, you could see that right along. He's 23 years old, coming out of Duke, really coming into his own, almost up over the 20 points per game mark. Nice young player. Trae Young really can score and light it up any night, but 15 assists, one shy of the Hawks franchise record against the Heat, held by Mookie Blaylock. I love saying Mookie's name. DeAndre Hunter becoming one of the best bench players in the NBA, could be sixth man of the year. He has 14 straight games with 15 points or more coming off the bench. He had 26 tonight. Tyler, 28 and 10 for Miami. Bam with 17 and 10 rebounds. Tyler's 10 were assists, not rebounds, as Jimmy Butler didn't play for the fourth straight game. And your Miami Heat lose 120-110 at the Atlanta Hawks. And the turning point of the game, Jimmy. Can Jimmy play? Can Jimmy come out? Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy. He's what? He's selling coffee? What? $100 a cup. Where? What? Jimmy Butler's selling coffee? $100 a cup? Where is he? He's not playing? He's what? He's not in shape to play basketball, which is his career, his vocation, and all he's ever done for 30 years. He's not in shape? Really? That's the line of crap they're feeding us? Really? Where is Jimmy Butler? Fourth game in a row. All right, I'm done. They're going to trade him. They have to. They have to trade him. I mean, these things, they go so far. I don't know who's doing what. I do know this. I'm not on the inside of the organization. And anybody who claims they are is full of crap, because the Heat don't let these things out. It's a tight-knit organization. They don't leak things. No one in the organization really leaks things to the media in the Miami Heat. Almost everybody has been there from the beginning. They don't leave. They stay there forever. And here's what's happening, okay? Jimmy Butler wants out, and he's not playing. Whether that's his choice or the organization's choice, it doesn't matter, because A, the one getting screwed is always you and me and the fans and everybody else and his teammates. And then two, if it's to protect him for a trade, he's an asset for the organization and also for himself. So whoever's responsible for him not playing, himself or the team, it's protecting an asset in case they decide to trade him, which Pat Riley came out and just said that they're not going to do. Are you following me? Good. I'm not either. All right. Next up, star of our show, and then a hero comes along with 28 and 10. Look, 8 of 15 from the floor, 4 of 7 from three-point land, 28 points, 10 assists, 8 of 8 from the free throw line, too. By the way, for Tyler Herro, a magnificent game played by him tonight. We need more. Love you, Tyler. We need more hero ball. Look at that right there. That elevation, creating his own shot, coming off of screens better than ever, moving without the ball, facilitating, driving and dishing, taking it to the rack, finding the open shooters, being the open shooter, becoming an elite star wing in this league. Yes, but we need more. We need more from Tyler Herro. But what a game he played. What a game he played. And, as I get set to wrap the show here, let me just take a peek at something here. And, I don't know if we've seen anything about Jimmy Butler trade rumors or anything like that today. I haven't really focused on that. It's not my job. I'm a postcast host here. But, Pat Riley insists that they will not trade him. Here's rumors, right? De'Aaron Fox is one of the rumors for Jimmy Z. Butler. Trade rumors page, Cam Johnson from Brooklyn. A lot of contenders interested in Cam Johnson. De'Aaron Fox in Sacramento, the all-world point guard in the making, which no one really thinks about much. What about Kyle Kuzma in Washington? Let's see. Jimmy Butler. Dun, 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 dun. Butler prefers a trade, and that was what Shams wrote on Christmas Day. Who's the new Woj? Whatever. But a 6-time All-Star. The Heat are listening to offers for Butler, supposedly. Suns, Mavericks, Rockets, Golden State, the teams he supposedly, reportedly, would like to go to. Again, Suns, Mavericks, Rockets, Golden State, with the Suns and Warriors. And, Jimmy's got the crib in SoCal. No one wants to play for the Lakers till that whole mess is sorted out with LeBron and Bronny. How could you take that seriously with LeBron? You know what I'm saying? It's a superstar player who's 100 years old. He's playing with his son. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go there. I don't think so. But Pat Riley usually doesn't comment on rumors, he says, but it's become a distraction, not fair to players' coaches. Therefore, we will make it clear, and I quote, "We are not trading Jimmy Butler." Excuse me, that's what Pat Riley said. So how did we get to this point? He was pissed last summer. They didn't extend him on the 2-year, $113 million contract. I'd be pissed too if I didn't get $56.5 million a year. You don't want to throw out that $500,000 on. You know what I mean? But it wasn't all about that money. It was at the press conference a year ago, Pat Riley publicly told him to basically shut up after he said the Heat would have beaten the Celtics and Knicks in the playoffs if he had stayed healthy. Riley kind of called him out, made him say, hey, quiet, Jimmy, on that. And they wanted to get him more help, and they have not been able to get him another superstar. But in the meantime, Tyler Herro, maybe not a superstar, becoming a big-time all-star. Bam Adebayo on the Olympic teams. Jimmy is still Jimmy, right? So he hasn't fully demanded a trade, at least that we know of. But, this guy leads you to the finals in 2020 and 2022. They were not able to get Damian Lillard, even when he said he wanted to be and play for the Heat above and beyond any other team. So, I don't know what's going to happen with Jimmy, but maybe he will be with the team for the rest of the season. And this whole load of crap about him not being in basketball shape is, come on. You're not buying that, are you? If you are, I'd love to do a business deal with you. I got some swampland for you. In the Everglades, Jimmy sits out 4th straight game as the Heat lose 120-110 in Atlanta. They play Houston tomorrow. We're here tomorrow with Heat Postcast. Now, remember, we also have a Dolphins game tomorrow, so keep coming back to the YouTube. You'll see both of them here tomorrow. Dolphins-Browns got to win to be in, baby. Will it be Tyler Huntley or will it be Tua with the hip? Look, the Broncos lost today. The Dolphins are still alive in the playoff race. They got to win tomorrow at Cleveland, and they beat the Jets. Denver's got to lose again next week. They play Kansas City. Hopefully the Chiefs will be playing for something by then, but probably not because they just beat Pittsburgh. Anyway, I got to get back on the NFL tip. But in the meantime, thank you so much for being here. This has been your Heat Postcast. See, I did it, and love it. Love it, love it, love it. Also put hashtags in your description box. We'll have to do that. We got to do some things on that end, but that's not necessarily me. But I will tell you this, we have fun every single day here doing this show, no matter what. And a great effort from Miami again, but they fall short, 120-110. A game over 500, they've lost 4 or 6. Still no Jimmy Butler, 4 straight games out for your Miami Heat. That's all there is, Heat fans. There is no more. Your Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. I am Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Back tomorrow. Heat and Dolphins Postcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, on the YouTube channel right here, Locked On Sports Miami, and wherever you get your podcasts. Keep your game tight and your mind right, baby.